Pilar? Oh, are the children asleep? Niños dormidos.
Ah, sí, señora.
Gracias.
He's home.
Ah, hi.
Hi.
How do I look?
Fine.
Just fine?
Super.
That's better. Here, taste this, will you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Good.
You know that the other night Marcia Burke actually used one of those canned dips?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can tell a lot about a person from things like that.
What? What can you tell?
Well, that she doesn't care. I mean, you know, really care about having things be just right. Oh, I hope they're not the late kind, the Bowens. I decided on beef Wellington, honey. I felt that would be impressive without being ostentatious. What do you think?
Perfect.
Good. You know, this house is really just right for us. Everyone says so.
Well, it should be. The taxes alone are $2,100 a year.
Oh, it's gauche to mention figures. Yeah, I think it's just perfect for us.
Yep. And it has an unobstructed view of the smog.
You know, Elliot, a house says things.
Well, it never said anything to me.
Well, this house says things people like the Bowens. It says, a very successful young orthodontist lives here. Not pretentious, mind you, but good taste. And on the way up.
Sounds like somebody just tore us right out of the pages of a magazine.
You know, I bet if the Bowens like us tonight, they'll put us up for the Bella Vista Country Club.
Janet, that's $10,000.
Well, I know, but it's a good investment for your future.
Well, I don't want to join a $10,000 country club. I don't even like to play golf.
Oh, you play 3 times a week.
I do a lot of things I don't like.
Now, what is that supposed to mean?
I mean, Janet, don't you ever wonder if there isn't something wrong with all these just right things?
Well, honey, you helped pick them out.
I mean, Janet, I'm bored with them.
Oh, you've just outgrown them, that's all. We're not going to stay here forever, you know. That's why I think it's time for us to move up to Bella Vista.
Move up. What does that mean?
Oh, Elliot, I'm not criticizing you. I think for our age, we're doing very well. Very well.
As what? You make it sound as though we just won best of class in a dog show. Now, all we have to do is hang the blue ribbon over your table setting and discreetly not point to it, and maybe the Bowens will enter us in a bigger and better contest. Now, I'd like to know, what has that got to do with the way we live?
Elliot, oh, shh, they're here. Come on now.
Insight. Stories of spiritual conflict in the 20th century. Insight.
What is really important for a human being? Values are very much part of us, because in the ultimate analysis, we become what we value. And how are we to derive our values? From the mass media? From other people? Which ones? And what if status and money and prestige? They promise happiness. Can they deliver? Can they make us more human? Or do they make us less human? What happens to the person who values these things above all else? Inside, I mean. Does he grow and come alive? Or does he dry up and die inside? And what of his relationships with other people? Can he be honest with them, allowing them to really know him as he is? Or must he always play a part, acting out a role which isn't quite authentic? Is he able to love? What does he have to give to the person whom he loves? His real self or a make-believe one? Yes, what is important to a human being?
So you really made a killing in the market, huh?
Oh, I don't mind telling you, Elliot. It's been good to me this month. I held back a little stock in that computer, and I spread the rest around among my customers. Up 60% in 1 month.
That's great. A little dividend, Hap.
Oh, sorry, darling. Dinner's ready.
Oh.
Good timing, Janet. One more little dividend and Hap automatically breaks into his broker's field, like a Barker at a carny. It's
Better.
one big asset.
Better than a big mouth, old dear.
Shall we? Pilar, langostinos, por favor.
Excellent taste.
Sitting here?
Yes, thank you, Hap.
Thank you.
Why don't
We're
you sit over
just
there?
getting settled in, actually. Here you go.
Elliot, would you open the wine, please?
Yes.
Lovely table, Janet.
Thanks.
What are we having?
Beef Wellington. I hope you like it.
Wonderful. Just
great.
the right thing for a small dinner party.
Oh,
Is that a Burgundy or a Claret, Elliot?
The Spanish Burgundy. It's not very old, so I don't think it needs to breathe much. You like Spanish wines, Hap?
More character in the taste, I'd say.
Not much taste in the character, dear. Hap never got an educated palate, Elliot. You could serve him grape soda and he'd smack his lips.
Marge, lay off, huh?
Hap, Elliot's thinking of looking for new offices. What do you think of the tower?
Well, it's high, especially the rent.
It's old and the offices are small. I've been after him to move to the new pavilion.
The tower has solidity. It lends a patina of dignity to your image.
Darling, you know you should move to the pavilion.
I like the tower.
I think you just don't have the drive to move up. Sign of age.
Oh, age nonsense. You look like a couple of young marrieds. Must be that health spot you told me about. Do you still go twice a week?
It's really very nice. And so is this wine, by the way, Elliot.
Thank you very much.
We have a starlet putting us through our paces, believe it or not. You don't need that, though, Janet.
She sure doesn't.
Well, thank you, sir.
You know, there's a men's spa next to it. If she joins, you better keep your eye on her, Elliot.
I have for years. And that's what got me into trouble in the first place.
Trouble. Oh, I like that.
So do I. Vive la trouble.
And viva los langostinos. These are delicious, Janet.
Oh, I'm glad you like them. We picked them up when we went deep sea fishing last summer. They freeze beautifully.
Do you like to fish, Hap?
They have a boat, darling.
Oh, really? Sail or power?
A 28-foot sloop. We go down on weekends if the weather's nice.
Oh, that must be a great way to get away from it all.
Marvelous for weekend parties. We've had more fun.
You've had more fun, dear.
Boats make Hap seasick.
Oh, that's too bad. Can't you take pills or something?
Oh, it's not this motion. No. It's this motion. Hap gets a client down on that boat, and they race the sun to see who can set first.
Well, it's a pain in the neck. I should have named it the Marjorie.
Why do you keep it if you don't like it?
I do a lot of things I don't like.
Oh, you're such a sweet boy. Good old happy Hap Bowen.
Oh, now, look.
Oh, slow.
That's all right. Oh, here.
You're such a lady.
I'm a lot more lady than Miss Linda Crowell will ever be.
That's enough. Knock it off.
Look, I didn't spill the wine.
Shut up.
Why did you tell them what you do with the boat on weekdays, Happy?
Hap! Hap, wait a minute. Wait a minute now. Cool off. Come on.
Sorry. Forgive me, Janet. I'd better go after her.
Senora, the Wellington.
Oh, aquí. Gracias.
Wow.
Do you think they were drinking before they came?
Both of them.
Oh, what unpleasant people.
And so unhappy.
So petty. Well, there's my first disaster of a dinner party.
Is that all you're thinking about?
Well, I put a lot of work into tonight. The Bowens are important to you.
No, you mean to you.
Well, what are you, a disinterested bystander?
What I'm interested in is two people cutting each other to ribbons right in front of us. And what I couldn't care less about is a little leftover beef and some spilled wine. You're very pretty.
Oh, I am?
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess I better take this off. Not much of a necklace to frame such a lovely face. Now, let's see. Let's see. Uh-huh. That's very nice. With those two caps, you know, Nicole, your entire mouth has an entirely different shape.
Dr. Cunningham, I have to tell you how much I thank you.
And you're welcome. You're a nice girl, and now you have a smile to match.
Well, that's why I have to let you know.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Well, I know you're late already.
Well, don't apologize for thanking me. Everyone likes to be appreciated sometime, even an orthodontist.
Well, when I came here to you, I was... Well, Well, it's hard to tell you how I was. Ashamed of myself. You know, I'd see other girls and see how pretty they all were. All of them. You know, smiling and nice to look at and so confident. And I wouldn't look at myself in the mirror.
Well, you had a problem, Nicole, but it was never that bad.
Well, maybe not to you. Maybe not to anyone else, but to me it was. People sometimes laughed at me or made fun of me when I was little. And, well, then when I grew older, they'd turn away. Maybe they were trying to be nice. I don't know, pretending not to notice.
Well, I'm afraid we all make that mistake sometime.
But see, Dr. Cunningham, we all think of ourselves in a certain way. And it doesn't matter how we look or we seem to other people. All we really know is how we seem to ourselves. And, well, I didn't think very much of myself.
You didn't like the way you looked, so you didn't like who you were. Is that it?
Yes. But you see, now you've changed me. I mean, I think I'm a better person. Look, I can just be me.
Nicole, you were always a very nice girl.
I know, but I want you to understand that I can smile when I like somebody, and I don't have to hide it. I can even be angry when I'm upset, and I don't have to try so hard to make people like me.
So you can even cry, huh? Well, I guess I can throw this away.
I would do anything for you. Anything you could ever ask of me. I mean, I know you said I didn't have to pay you all the money, so I owe you.
Now, look, I knew you couldn't afford more than you had, and that's all there is to it. And besides that, you were a lovely patient for 2 years with a lot of work and a lot of pain.
But I couldn't pay you, and you did it anyway.
It was a challenge. I mean, I wasn't being unselfish. I wanted to know what I could really do. And today you've told me.
But I owe you. I owe you my whole life.
No, you don't. You're much too young to understand. Will you listen to me? I sound 150 years old. Now, that is a lovely smile. You know, Nicole, somehow, I think that I'm in debt to you. Hey, listen. How would you like to go out and celebrate with one of the world's all-time great ice cream sodas?
I'd like that.
Okay, listen, I'll get my coat. I'll be right back. Hi, dear. Hey, I'm sorry I'm late. I walked all the way home. I felt so strange. I felt good, too. Listen, I'd like to tell you something. I know that we had a bad time last night. We said a lot of harsh things to each other, and I apologize. Now, listen. Two grown people can't not be talking to each other. Please, I want to tell you something.
What?
Well, I finished working on Nicole Carpenter tonight. And you know, I think I've done something really good.
Bravo.
Please, talk to me.
Dinner was ready 1 hour and 20 minutes ago.
Yes, I know, Janet, and I'm really sorry, but I'm just not hungry. I don't know, I'm all wound up. I
thought you said you felt good.
I do, but what I started to say was why I never felt this way before. I mean, all the things I've forced on myself, this house, that car, they never made me feel anything. I mean, really feel. And you know, I think I'm scared, too. What do you think it is?
Well, everybody gets scared sometimes. I think it's just a stage.
Now, please, don't give me any high school psychology.
You asked me what I thought.
Right. What do you think? What do I think? Do you know, in my whole life, I've never asked myself one time what I'd like to be or what I'd like to do? I don't even know if I wanted to be a dentist. It was just a good way to make money.
No, wait a minute. We have considered every single move that we've made, from where to set up your practice to where we should live.
Right, and our yardstick has been some image out of a TV commercial. I mean, Janet, don't you ever get afraid? I mean, just wondering what it's all about. Don't you ever wonder why?
No, I don't have time. I spend my day chasing after 2 children, remember? Trying to make a home for you, entertaining your friends. I do the best I can.
But is that your life, Janet? Is that all you want?
I don't know. You never asked me before.
No, I guess not.
Is that why you married me? Because it was the right thing to do, like being a dentist? Is it?
For God's sake, Janet, I'm trying to say something about the meaning of my life, and you're being defensive.
I am not being defensive. It's kind of important to me what the man I've been married to for 7 years thinks about me.
I didn't mean I wasn't happy with you. It's just I became so elated when Nicole turned out beautiful that everything else seemed hollow.
What, you mean meaning me, our marriage, our children?
I don't know. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to talk about.
But all you've said is that you're not happy with anything, or that you never were. What about me? Or what about us?
You know, on the way home tonight, I was trying to think back to when we met.
Well, you said you loved me.
I know. You were everything I wanted in a wife.
Well, now, what is that supposed to mean?
I mean, everything I liked. You were pretty and fun, and you were a nice girl.
Yes, and I was a good hostess from a good family. I even had good teeth.
You asked how I felt about you, Janet. Now, I'm trying to be honest.
Yes, but I just don't understand what this is all about.
I'm just trying to get at the truth.
But the truth is that I love you, and I always have, and I thought you loved me.
Well, I didn't. I don't know that I didn't.
But I bore your children.
I know.
18 hours of labor both
Yes,
times.
yeah, I know
I
that, too.
love you. You owe me something.
Janet, I'm just trying to find out how it was. Don't you want to know?
No, I don't think I do. It's always been fine until now. It's been just fine.
No, I don't think it was ever fine. No, fine is what I felt a couple of hours ago. I never felt that before in my life. It hasn't been fine.
Oh.
It's been right. It's been proper. It's been acceptable. It's been what other people approved of.
Elliot, no,
and that's
stop.
the way it was when I married you.
Don't.
I don't love you, Janet. I didn't love you then, and I don't love you now.
No! Oh, that's a terrible thing to say. You shouldn't say that. Well, you've hurt me, Elliot. You've really hurt me.
Please believe me. I don't want to.
One thing that I always thought that I was sure of was that you loved me. And now you tell me that that was all a lie.
I didn't want it to turn out that way. It's just that everything was a lie.
Oh, look at you. The noble young man, searching for truth. Meantime, destroying his wife and family.
Now,
Does that make you
Janet,
feel happy? Huh? It does, doesn't it? I can see it. You're pleased.
No, I'm not pleased.
Yes, you are. You're just tickled to death.
Oh, God, I'm sorry I ever started this.
Well, yeah, you're sorry. You're going to be a heck of a lot sorrier, too. You can start packing any time you want. You're not going to live here after what you just said.
If it's a divorce that you really want, I'd like you to know that I'll take care of you and the children. After all, I'm their parent, too.
Oh, no, you're not. Not anymore, you're not.
What do you mean?
I mean that I'm going to keep them away from you so that your poison doesn't infect them, too.
Those are my children.
Oh, you don't even like them. You'd rather go off and play golf than be with them. You don't even like golf.
I want to tell you one thing. You try to keep me away from my kids, and I'll tear you in half.
I don't think you're man enough. You're
Janet.
not dishonest, Elliot. You're just plain inadequate.
Inadequate?
Yes.
You've got a big house. You've got 2 children. You got stocks and bonds. I call that adequate.
But listen, those things aren't important to you. Remember? They're hollow. You know something? You're right. They are hollow from a hollow man.
If it was so bad, Janet, why did you put up with it?
Because I thought that's what you wanted. I did it all for you, Elliot. And I was bored. That's why I joined all those projects and those clubs out of boredom. You're a boring man.
You did some kind of Act? For 7 years, and you never told me.
I was afraid to.
Afraid of what, for God's sake?
Of losing everything. Do you have any idea what it's like living with someone you're afraid doesn't love you?
And you knew. It wasn't this big surprise.
No, I didn't know, but I sure did suspect.
No, you knew. You were 21. You're pretty. You had a good education. You came from a good family, and yet you married a man that you knew was a phony. You could have married any number of men who were not phonies. Why didn't you?
Because I loved you.
No, you didn't. As long as I was a phony, everything was fine for you because you had your young people on their way up act. And that was safe because everybody around us had their act. And you wanted that because you didn't want everyone to know that you were inadequate too.
Wait a minute, Elliot. Just a minute. I was brought up to believe that if I followed all the proper rules and the attitudes, the examples that the right people set, that I would have a good life. Now, if there was more, it was up to my husband to show it to me.
No. If you'd wanted more, you would have married a man who had more to offer.
Oh, you just won't be happy until you tear me down to your level, will you?
I had one real moment tonight. Now, maybe I've had others, I don't know. But this one meant something to me. It had significance, and since then, all the rest of it has been evaporating.
Elliot, that kind of moment doesn't mean anything. That's a highlight. I know more about that than you do. That's happened to me twice.
When?
Each time I had a child.
But you always said that was terrible.
It was glorious.
But the 18 hours, all the pain.
I know. Well, there was pain. There was hard work, mostly hard work. But there was also it was like a feeling of a force working through me. And each time when the baby was born, they laid it across my stomach, and I could feel it still hot from being inside me. It was alive and moving. I was so glad to be me.
You never once said that it was wonderful being a mother or having children. It was always some kind of burden, and I didn't appreciate all the pain and hell you had to put up with.
I know, I said that, but... Oh, never mind, you don't know what I mean.
That's the point. I don't know. Not for 7 years. I've never known what you meant. And I can't. I don't want to live that way anymore. I can't.
You mean that you want what happened today?
Yeah.
Oh, Elliot, I can't believe that you fixed some girl's teeth and now all of a sudden this.
It's simple. I gave that girl something. It wasn't money or a car. You know, it was something from me. It was like a gift. And I felt good and I liked myself. I didn't like myself before. I was always afraid that the real man would be more inadequate than the person I was pretending to be.
7 years. I thought I knew you.
I didn't know myself. I still don't.
I love you.
You need me.
Oh, please. Don't try and take everything away.
I can't take anything away. If it's the truth, it's there.
Well, what are you trying to get me to say, that I never loved you?
Just once. Just once. Try to look inside yourself and see how you really felt. We're not that different, are we?
All right. So there never were any skyrockets. But I always hoped. But I thought I tried, Elliot. I really did.
You faked it.
You asked me to tell you the truth.
I'm sorry.
What do we do now?
I don't know.
Should I divorce you?
Well, whatever we do, it's got to be because we want to do it.
You know, you're right about something. I don't feel very good. But I do feel kind of free. I guess if you think about it, we can do anything we want to.
Yeah. Yeah. We could do anything we want. We could go off and go on our separate ways and try to start a new life.
Or we could try and start one right here, right now.
Maybe.
It's scary, though. What if it turns out we don't really like each other?
That's a chance we take.
It's such a big thing to do. I don't have any idea where to begin.
Well, giving. This giving thing, I think that would be a good place to start.
It scares me.
Yeah. That's what I tried to tell you when I got home.
You mean that we just try to give to each other for free?
For free.
Insight is a production of the Paulist Fathers, a group of Catholic priests who serve their God by serving those outside their church.